This podcast is presented by Win City Sports.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Cedric's Combat Corner. I am your host, Cedric Ben. Today on the Triple C's podcast is going to be another history fight study. This one's going to be the rematch to the previous history fight study between Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Hands of Stone Duran. The rematch took place in the same year as the original fight. The year was born 1980. Just a couple months later, this was in the Superdome in New Orleans. Now, if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and you want to follow along visually, just go to YouTube, type in Sugar Ray Leonard versus Roberto Duran 2. This specific video is 34 minutes and 20 seconds long. And I'm going to start it right before the fight starts, exactly at the 5 minute and 50th second of the video. 5 minute 50th second of the video. Wait for you to start it at the same time. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Again, just a reminder, Sugar Ray Leonard, gold medal at the Olympics. Roberto Duran, very strong, durable fighter. Started fighting early, and here we are. Sugar Ray Leonard studied the first fight, studied the things he did well, studied the mistakes that he made, and really did his best to capitalize on that. You see right off the bat, he's staying on his toes, the things that gave him the advantage in the first fight, staying on his toes from the outside. And at this distance, Roberto Duran has a very hard time even getting to him. See what's happening right now as Sugar Ray's moving around. What happened in the first fight, he did this for a bit, and then his pride kind of got to him, especially with all the trash talking that was going on before, and then he ended up just trying to have a street fight with Roberto Duran, which is what Duran wants. See, right now Duran is just standing there. He's not even really trying to cut him off. He's just turning around, following him, because he's expecting. He tried a little flurry right there. Duran is expecting Sugar Ray to do what he did in the first fight, which is just stand on his toes for a second and then try to fight him. But you can see right here, Sugar Ray is just straight up using his boxing skills. Just a reminder, it takes a lot more energy to stay on your toes the way that Sugar Ray is right now. Very good forward, because especially moving around loud. It's one thing just to stand in one spot and to bounce up and down, but to be able to keep your balance as you're moving around the whole ring and having to fight somebody, offense or defense. You see Duran Duran is attempting to cut off the ring, but he's not fully committing to it. Sugar Ray is not biting into Duran, what Duran wants to do. See, when you're fighting, ideally you want to try to do the opposite. Try to do the opposite of what your opponent is trying to do to you. Duran wants to stand there and go to war. Sugar Ray's like, no, you got to catch me first if you want to go to war. Fakes, the jabs, the lateral movement with the Sugar Ray, the lateral movement and the jab is the number one thing right now. We're faking the jab, as you can see, because just faking the jab is making Duran put his hands up or just hesitate because he's not sure if something's coming at you. That's how you use your speed. To your advantage. It doesn't have to be power, but if you can hit your opponent before they can realize they're getting hit, just faking that movement will make them hesitate and keep their hands up. Taking a few see what I mean there. Nice long 1-2 from Sugar Ray. End of the first round. Sugar Ray is very confident that this is the game plan that he's going to stick to. As you can see how well it worked already. Angelo Dundee, who was Muhammad Ali's coach, one of the greatest coaches. So again, Sugar Ray Leonard displaying the skills that he won the Olympics with, on his toes, using long straight punches, understanding your distance. That's the main thing that you can take away from this right now. Understanding your distance to where you're comfortable, where you won't get hit, or you're fast enough to get out of the way, and you have good enough footwork to land some offense too. See how Sugar Ray spun off the ropes right there, right away? At no point in time is he standing in one spot for more than 2 seconds. You guys that listen to me already, you know I always talk about the 2-second rule. You don't want to stand in front of your opponent for more than 2 seconds. That's exactly what Sugar Ray is doing right now. Not standing in front of his opponent. Duran still is kind of standing flat-footed. Duran hasn't really moved from the center of the ring. Hold and punch until the referee breaks you up. Yeah, don't complain about your opponent holding you. Just punch with the other arm until the referee breaks you up. And you see how just the body movement from Sugar Ray is making Duran move. Nice 1-2 from a distance. And then a nice hook. See, that's what happens. Duran is just saying, F this, I'm just going to rush in on him. But he's getting caught on the way in because Sugar Ray's already prepared for it. Duran is trying to just go all out. But he's walking into a left hook, straight right. And then Duran, again, back to standing still. Trying to chase. Now he's trying to chase him around. Duran should do this is like 20 years ago. So try to cut off the ring better. Like literally try to keep the person on one side of the ring by moving, by cutting them off, not just getting close and then just turning around in a circle. Duran should be moving whatever direction Sugar Ray's moving in. Duran should be moving that foot in that direction to try to cut him off, taking wider steps to try to cut him off. Or whichever way the person is moving to, throw that hand. So if they're moving to your right, throw your right hand. If they're moving to your left, throw your left hand. Again, the distance. Sugar Ray knows that perfect distance. Now he stands there for a second. See how he's turning off the ropes? He's not just standing there like he did in the first fight. Now Sugar Ray is back in the center. Sugar Ray is standing there for a few seconds, but he's in the center. Nice counter punch, and then he's going to be on his toes again. Oh no, he's still staying flat-footed, but he's understanding his distance. Some good fighting on the inside here. Nice jab. See that distance, that jab. Duran can't do nothing if Sugar Ray uses jab. End of the second round. We are at exactly the 12th minute and 40th second of the video. Look at the replay here. Hook and then right hand counter punch. Just barely grazed him. It wasn't clean. But still, and again, Duran not even staying in his boxing stance. He's just trying to rush forward because that's the only way he can get to him. But when you rush forward with reckless abandon like that, you walk into punches. It's very apparent who has the more boxing skill, the higher boxing skill level. And these skills were, Sugar Ray had these skills in the first fight, but he just got out of his, again, because of the trash talking, he let the trash talking get to his head and get him out of his game. Third round, 13 minutes, 35 seconds in. WBC World Welterweight Championship title. Again, on his toes, with the lateral movement, staying in his boxing stance. Again, nice check left hook, see? At a distance, Sugar Ray is staying on his toes, but he's prepared for any type of counter punch from when Duran comes forward. Jab, just to make sure he knows he's going to walk into something. Things that Sugar Ray was not doing in the first fight, if you remember watching that one. Lateral movement, see? Duran is lost. This is the equivalent of in basketball when you get crossed up. Someone with good dribbling skills and you can't get the ball from him. Now Duran needs to do more of that. Whichever way that Sugar Ray is moving to, he needs to try to throw that hand to try to cut him off there. try to cut off the movement and get him to stand there. He just did it again there. He threw a jab and then a left hook. But again, Sugar Ray, as soon as his back touches the ropes, he's spinning off of them. That big mistake, the mistake he was making in the first fight, he's not doing any of them right now. He's not standing in one spot for more than 2 seconds. If his back touches the ropes, he'll throw a combination, spin off. Right now, he's staying at a distance. See what I mean? Soon as Sugar Ray touches the ropes, spin back to the center. When you're in the center of the ring, you have more control of where you want to go. Nice long jab. Because when you're trapped against the corner, against the ropes, see right here, Sugar Ray's against the ropes. You see what he does. He touches the ropes and he moves off of it again. Duran looking frustrated, not really ready to commit. He committed right there, but wasn't really effective. This is the only way that Duran could get some offense on is just by jumping in. Duran landed something there. Sugar Ray against the ropes. You see what I mean? He throws a little combination, spins off of him. Duran leaning on him to try to keep Sugar Ray there. Sugar Ray's quick combination on the inside. Sugar Ray is trying. He's trying to get to the center, but Duran's like holding him, and Duran did a better job of cutting him off there. But then he's back to square one again. And now he's back to square one. Duran is. How do I get close to this guy? How do I get close to this guy? Duran's thinking to himself, in the first fight, I just had to stand there, and he came to me. Now I've got to chase this guy down, and I can't even touch him. And you'll start to see the frustration. End of the third round. We were at the 16th minute and 35th second of the video. Oh, they skipped the middle of the round. Right into the fourth round here. 16th minute and 45th second of the video. The frustration from Durant is starting to show. You know, the only time that he has some success is when he fully just runs inside, but then he has to eat 3 or 4 punches just to do that. Sugar Ray against the ropes, and now he's back to the center. And the times that he is standing flat-footed, Sugar Ray, he's in the center of the ring. Some little inside fighting there. Accurate punches on the inside, a little bit of holding. The referee won't say nothing if you hold a little bit, but if it's too much, then he'll come in and break it up. Durant trying to keep Sugar Ray against the ropes. This is the only success that Durant's going to have right here, so he has to try to take advantage of it. Nice body shots by Sugar Ray to give him a few seconds to get that distance, and now he's back at the center of the ring where he can move wherever he wants to. Sugar Ray wants to stand there for a few seconds just to show me I still can do this. I'm not going to do it the whole time. See, now he's back to moving again at that distance. Good slipping by Sugar Ray. Again, Durant trying to drive Sugar Ray back to the ropes right now. Look, Durant's trying to keep him there. Sugar Ray's like pop, 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 and then back to the center. Very smart boxing by Sugar Ray Leonard. You could tell he did his homework from the first fight and really studied, and he is acing the second test. Good few punches by Durant, but again, Durant, look at his body language is showing that the frustration. He's not really now the 100% committing, just charging forward. Those charging forwards, I know that's not proper English. I apologize. Those charging forwards are few and far in between now, because he knows to come in he has to eat 3 or 4. They might not hurt, but it just makes you frustrated. Look, he almost fell out the ropes there trying to charge at him. Sugar Ray just boxing flawlessly right now. This one's definitely going on to the Flawless Flights playlist on the YouTube page. Nice quick 1-1-2 on the inside right here. Duran didn't even do anything on the inside there. Sugar Ray feeling nice and comfortable. He should be jabbing a little bit more right now. He should be jabbing, but he is in control of the fight. Again, you saw that counterpunch left hook that Sugar Ray just tried to throw there. End of the fourth round. Starting of the fifth round. We are at 19 minutes and 50 seconds going into the fifth round right now. Sugar Ray putting on a boxing skills lesson for Duran. If Duran could just cut off the ring a lot better, like as the fight's going on, you can just see the frustration on Duran's face. Like he could tell he wants to, is not, you could just see how frustrated he is. He can't do nothing. Nothing that you're doing is working. You know, you're trying to avoid punches. You're getting hit. You're trying to commit. You're getting hit as you commit. And it's just a frustrating situation for a boxer. Duran feeling like he's out there on an island alone. Well, he is alone. It's one-on-one boxing, but just helpless. Duran not feeling like, again, you can see in the body language, Duran is not even, it's almost like he quit right now because nothing he's doing is working. He had Sugar Ray against the ropes there. 2 seconds later, Sugar Ray's gone. And he's at that distance again where Duran cannot hit him, but Sugar Ray has the footwork and the speed to hit him. You can see the difference in the Olympic skills. The counter punching. Sugar Ray taking some more chances. Now look, sometimes when Duran will throw his jab, Sugar Ray will lean to the inside and throw like a quick uppercut. He just tried it right there, or a quick check hook, which is more risky. But when you can tell your opponent is not fully committing, you can take more chances. And that was a slip there. That was Duran hoping that the referee counted as a knockdown, looking for anything. And Duran's not tired. He's just frustrated. He can't do nothing. He's looking for the success that he had in the first fight. Sugar Ray against the rope. He has Sugar Ray against the ropes right here, but is not able to capitalize on it. Charging forward, Sugar Ray counterpunches with a left hook and right hand. And you even saw Duran back up a little bit there to show how much he's frustrated. Give me some more jabs. Sugar Ray needs some more jabs. Duran has Sugar Ray against the ropes right now. See how much work he puts in. But again, Duran is not displaying the aggression that he was in the first fight, even when he has a nice check hook, nice hook by Duran there. Duran having some success here. That little exchange right there was similar to the first fight, where they're against the ropes and both guys are exchanging. Sugar Ray looked like he landed more, but you can't. It's hard to tell when it's when both guys are smothering each other. We are going into the sixth round now. At the 23-minute, we were at 23 minutes and 10 seconds. 23 minutes, 11 seconds. Sugar Ray in full control. Full control with boxing skills, not just power and brute force. Dominating with boxing skills. Duran, see what Duran just did there? He threw the hand whichever way Sugar Ray was moving to Duran's left. Duran threw a left hook. That's what he needs to do. Like right now, Sugar Ray is moving whichever way Sugar Ray moves to. Duran should be throwing a hand to that side. Even if Sugar Ray blocks it, at least it'll stop him in his tracks just for that 1 second for you to land a second punch. Duran just throwing that jab out there, just hoping that Sugar Ray will go back to what he did at the first fight. Now, for the fans, this might be a boring fight. Oh, another check. See what I mean? Duran is trying to come in, but he's just getting caught with serious counter punches from Sugar Ray. I'll talk about the fans in between rounds. success that Duran is having is like one punch landing at a time instead of the flurry of combinations that he was able to land in the first fight. Even if they weren't landing, he was throwing them. Nice slip to the inside by Sugar Ray there. Again, at a distance, you're not touching Sugar Ray from this distance. You're not touching Sugar Ray from this distance. Sugar Ray clearly showing that. Sugar Ray with his hands up, jabbing from different angles. You see, notice Sugar Ray throwing that jab to the body, to the chest, and to the body sometimes. And what that does is set up the hooks to the head, like right there. Duran again has, so Duran, he couldn't take advantage of it. Duran had Sugar Ray against the ropes and could not take advantage of it. The story of the fight, one of the stories of the fight, other than the great footwork, lateral movement, boxing skills from Sugar Ray. 10 seconds left here in this 6th round. Duran needs to commit more. End of the 6th round. Now, again, this fight might be boring for the crowd because there's not a lot of action or knockdowns, but it is a perfect fight for Sugar Ray Leonard. Sometimes it works like that. It might not be good for the crowd, but it's good for the fighter. Pay attention to the great footwork by Sugar Ray. Look at his footwork. He's not just bouncing up and down. When he's moving left to right, he's still staying balanced in his boxing stance, which lets you land punches. It looks like he's throwing and punching, but for a split second he's stopping to land and have proper defense, and then go from there. Duran simply cannot cut him off. Simply cannot cut him off. Roberto Duran, see, punching in air. That's what I mean about that distance. Sure, when Sugar Ray's landing punches from a distance, Duran is trying to counter punch, but because Sugar Ray knows that distance, Duran is just looks like he's shadow boxing. High low is what Sugar Ray's doing. To the head, coming down to the chest, down to the stomach, and then back up. See how he's jabbing to the head? And that sets up the punches up top. Nice slip to the inside again. Jabbing from different angles is what you're looking for. Jab from different angles. Now it's to the point where he's just embarrassing. Like when you put your hands down, this is not like this. These are the things that you do, when you're sparring against little kids. You play around with them. You put your hands down, stick your tongue out, stick your chin out. This is what Sugar Ray's doing at a championship level against one of the greatest fighters of all time. Straight up embarrassing him. Duran, for some reason, is not committing. And then when he does commit, that's what happens. Sugar Ray, this is just, again, this is pure frustration on the part of Duran. He has a chance here that this is his best opportunity, and even in these opportunities, sometimes Sugar Ray is getting the best of them. The confident, this is just when you do stuff, put the other hand in the air, and then you actually land the punch with the opposite hand. That is the ultimate sign of frustration from your opponent when you do stuff like that. Durant not even able to stay in his boxing stance. And it's just pure sick boxing skills displayed. Another slip to the inside. Pay attention to the great way that Sugar Ray slips to the inside, which is much riskier to do on defense if you're trying to counterpunch. Very, very risky. Because if you make a mistake and your opponent sees that and capitalizes on your chin, lights out. Twenty-nine minutes and 20 seconds into this video. Going into the 8th round. pure boxing skills domination from Sugar Ray. Usually when you talk about dominant fights, it's from a person's power. But the Sugar Ray's power is his speed and skills. Not just speed, it's not just speed, and anybody could throw fast. It's the skills along with that speed. Duran got to cut him off, man. You got to cut him off. This is a perfect example of why you need to learn to cut the ring off on your opponent. Why you need to cut off the ring. Because if you can't, if you're fighting someone, even if the person does have better footwork than you, even if you're fighting someone that has better skills than you, if you can learn to cut them off, that will give you a better chance to get at them. And then it comes to a point where Duran is like, how much more? It's not even about how much more punishment he wants to take, because he's not getting punished. He's just getting straight up frustrated, if there's a better word to use. I'm not sure if there's a better word to use. He can't do nothing. His strengths, he can't use his strengths. Everything that he's trying is not working. He tries to keep Sugar Ray against the ropes. Sometimes Sugar Ray gets the best of him, when that's supposed to be Duran's strength. And it's just, pure boxing skills domination by Sugar Ray. In his prime at 24 years old. Duran was 29 at this time. Still in his prime too. Again, mixing it up, jabbing low, punching low to the stomach, chest, and then back up top, because it opens up top. Another jab to throw him off. The 2-second rule. Again, remember the 2-second rule. See Sugar Ray, look at him standing there, but it's not standing there for more than 2 seconds. And even if he is standing there, it's moving your head. It's either move or move your head. Durant committing, but eating punches as he commits. And you know what? He's like, man, you know what? Forget this. I'm out of here. I'm done. Forget this. This was the famous. Even the referee wasn't sure what was happening. The referee was like, "What? Are you serious? Are you quitting? You're serious?" And just like that, no mas, no mas. Now, people are lucky. They're lucky that social media was not around back then. Can you imagine if anybody, if one of the great fighters, what if Floyd quit? Imagine if Floyd quit in a fight like that right now. Like, the internet would break, because people would be going crazy. Roberto Duran, regarded as one of the greatest fighters of all time, quit out of frustration. Once again, great pure boxing skills displayed by Sugar Ray Leonard. One of the reasons why he is regarded as one of the all-time greats. Yeah, and there you have it. Thank you very much for listening. Cedric's Combat Corner History Fight Study. Thank you very much for listening, and shout out to Win City Sports. Peace.
1, 2, 3, smack that thumbs up for this video. Smack it, baby!